Hey y'all, time now for today's Rangers game memory, and we've talked a lot of positive game memories. There was an experience last year that I'll never forget, unfortunately for all the wrong reasons, and that was when the Rangers were playing the Angels in early July, and Tyler Skaggs was found dead prior to one of the games in the series, and it's really the 2 days that stand out, I guess, to form this memory. Uh, the first day being the day that the game was postponed, and we were in the clubhouse as we normally would be, the media that is, prior to the game, and then I remember noticing, but not thinking anything of it, that there were more people in the clubhouse than normal at that time, especially members of the support staff, video analysts, the Brett Hayes and Alex Berg, the coordinators of run prevention and production, respectively, were just kind of hanging out in there. It wasn't uncommon for these guys to pass through and maybe with a purpose, to go and talk to someone, or to go to the kitchen or whatever, but to sit down like they were, and you turn around and there are quite a few people in there, and then John Blake comes in and says, "Hey, we need you guys out." And none of us knew what was going on, but we could tell it was something serious. And Emily Jones and I remember kind of doing a quick inventory of, like, was everyone there? And I forget who it was. There was one person who wasn't in the clubhouse, and we immediately thought the worst. But we were told quickly, no, that person's here. And so, without knowing what was going on, sometimes in these private moments where no one knows what's going on, or quote unquote no one knows, one of the riders has a scoop on something, but this was obviously on a different level. And we go back up, and I think our thought was that it involved someone on the Angels side. Didn't know if it was a player, coach, support staff, what have you. And then it was like the information just layer by layer started to come about, and it was someone on the Angels had passed away. Again, didn't know support staff, player, coach, and then it was player. Didn't know who, and then eventually we learned it was Tyler Skaggs, and the game was postponed. Now, I went home that night not knowing when the Rangers and Angels would play again, and the next day, there was a little bit of a press conference that day, and then there was another the next day, and the two teams agreed that they were going to play. I think it was the Angels' decision ultimately, and they said, "Yeah, we'll play." And the Angels won that next game, and I remember there was an error. Justin Upton, I think, committed a bad error in the first inning, and it looked like maybe the Rangers would, just kind of run all over the Angels. But the Angels won. It was just a weird game. People were there, but there was no walk-up music. I think the in-game entertainment presentation was dialed down significantly out of respect for the grieving Angels, and frankly, it was a lifeless game. The Rangers didn't want to be there, or the Angels certainly didn't want to be there. I think the Rangers thought, just in talking to guys, was like, listen, if we're not going to really play, why are we playing? And not that they were letting the Angels win, but I think just the nature of the environment, it takes away from the edge. And I think it's tough to have that edge when you're looking across the field and seeing peers, friends, rivals you respect, and they're just not in it. And I had various conversations with players afterwards on the Rangers, and they were all understanding. No one was bitter towards the Angels or anything, but it was just like, man, that was either, the sentiment was that was either that was really tough, like the toughest game I had to play. It was so tough to, like, get up for it, or it was like, man, if we weren't really going to play, then why did we play? And it was a weird feeling, and it's still sad, obviously, to this day. And the Angels as an organization, with Nick Adenhart and Tyler Skaggs, have certainly been through a lot. Rory Marcus, their broadcaster, who passed away a little over a decade ago, I believe. So just a weird day, weird game, and unfortunately, it's one I'm not going to forget, and not for the right reasons, but whatever the case, still today's Rangers game memory.